Welcome, everyone. I'm back again this week with the second part of my interview with Greg Hawkes, consultant and speaker extraordinaire. We've been talking about a term and a concept that he put together called being relationally smart, and it's a series of behaviors that you can put into practice to improve your relationships. Today, we get to the next behavior, which is enlist and insert, something that you'll want to know more about. Let's get started. What is it now? Enlist and insert.
So
what do you mean by that?
This is a little different than the go first, because that's a relational. Enlist and insert are coaches and mentors of people who have achieved something that I want to achieve. And so I have pursued different professionals in this field even, and prior to this, who had attained a level of influence and effectiveness and a platform that I always saw myself, like that's kind of where I want to go. And they really don't know me, and they really don't care to know me. And so what enlisting is, I'm enlisting you as a mentor in my life. Not just I'm going to read a book. I mean, some people are like, I have lots of mentors, they're all my books. Like, this is a human being that I'm going to go and they don't offer it. They don't necessarily want it.
You're going to just go.
I'm going to enlist them and say, I'm going to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, it's not as easy as just going to introduce yourself.
It's not.
I've got some really funny stories about the efforts it takes to get into people's
All right,
worlds.
Give me one.
I tell this story, and I won't share names, even though he knows it. Guy that's much further along in the speaking business than I am. My efforts to be in his world, I took over a year of me consistently saying, I want to take you to coffee. I want to do something. He lives in another state, offered to fly to his state. No. He was going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is about 3 hours from where I was at. I said, I'll come down there at any time that you're down there. No. He was going to be
straight nose.
No. And I don't want to. It wasn't no, you don't bug me, kid. It was like, I've got these things that I'm doing, and so my schedule says a lot for it. So it was all very like, and he's just really sharp. He was going to be in Stillwater.
We're getting closer, by the way.
Yeah, okay, Stillwater for 50 minutes from my house. And like, I was stalking his schedule. This is probably 5 years ago. And I said, I will pick you up from the airport. I will take you back to the airport. I will whatever. No.
Oh wow.
And he gave me like reasons before and after. And so then I said, well, that's just not going to work for me. So, because I'm enlisting and inserting myself into your life. So it wasn't ever personal, because he didn't know me enough to go like, I just don't want you. It was, I have this life that I'm leading and I'm living, and it's very intentional.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, that's why I want to be in it. So I reached out to the Lorinda, who was at OSU in Stillwater, who at that point, and I've told this story before, at that point, Lorinda and I were not close. I love Lorinda now, and she mostly loves me.
Of course.
And I said, hey, such and such is coming. I want to meet him and connect with him. So she said, come on up. He's already told me, no, I ain't got no time for you.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to find some other way. And I did. And then when I got up there, like, because I didn't know Lorinda that well, I think she might have thought I knew him or that he knew me. And it was not the case. And so it was a great encounter and I was very prepared for it. But she was like,
what did you say to this person when you were?
Well, so here's what I know. Rob, and I bet your people know this. So let me tell you what happened. When I walked in, Lorinda said, oh, he's back in the back by himself having lunch. So they were doing a morning and afternoon thing. I said, okay. So she's like, come on back. And I was like, then I got a little nervous because I was like, it feels like you think he wants me to come back. so such was not the case. And so when I went, I was very, he and I are from the same state. He grew up where he grew up. I went to some concerts around there. My wife graduated from college right down the road. And so what I know is the more unique connection points you have with people, quicker trust is accelerated.
Right.
So I had these like 3 talking points. So I come in, he stands up. I said, hey, I'm the guy that's been bugging you for like a year, sending emails, doing all this. Lorinda leaves. And so he's standing up. And then I told him these things like, hey, my first concert was at, up in Cleveland at Rick Springfield, 1984 is all. And then my wife, and so I'm telling these things like these touch points of his home world. He's like, oh, very cool. And then he asked me to sit down. So like I very distinctly remember, like he stood up, like, we'll see if I'm going to talk to you.
Right.
Like that was my sense of it. And since then, he's been very generous to me.
Nice.
Super. And so it was all of this where I just inserted myself, and so he gave me like 15 minutes, and I had key questions I wanted to ask him.
So you came prepared too.
Oh.
Right. This wasn't just I've been
trying to get into life for a year.
Okay. All right.
When the moment arrived, that was
How did you finish?
Prepared.
How did you finish so that you
It was critical.
somehow
The
keep this
most
going,
important thing
right?
was I knew who his business manager was, and I said, would it be okay if I followed up and reached out? I mean, I didn't have contracts at this time, so just like this is the stage of my business, and that's why like he's got a business of speaking all this.
I want that
I'm
business.
like, and so yeah, I literally have a contract. I don't even know how to do a proposal.
Right.
So like that's where I'm at in the stage. So I get why people are like, So my closing was, would it be cool if I reached out to your business manager and asked about some of the functional, practical elements of this? And he said yes. And from then on, I had access to his world through his business manager, who was just delightful. And they both have been very gracious towards
And
me.
you still keep a little.
Every year I send him. So what I do is over the years. Then every year I've been in his world, some professional things, and at the beginning of this year, I send them an update. I say, hey, here's how my business went last year. Here's what things are on. I know you don't. It's not anything. But I want to let you know I'm grateful. I always attribute my growth to your willingness.
Awesome.
So yeah, I do that, and they're both like, good for you, you know.
And so people have to love. I mean, so to me, this is a story of you finding a mentor and just basically saying, I won't quit.
Enlist and insert.
Okay, until you become my mentor. But then the continuing to give the updates says you matter.
Well,
That can't help but kind of make that glue just a little bit stronger.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Maybe,
That's awesome.
I don't
That's
know,
great
yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, they're good.
All
But
right,
but
take
that's
notes here. Okay.
Very few people do that. I'm shocked how few people do that, and it's been a key to my success in
Okay.
life.
Okay. Very good.
Of
Very
all
good.
of these, this is my favorite one because it's audacious
Yes.
to find people and then be willing to just do. Like I'm trying to instill that. Just be willing to put yourself out there again and don't take the no's personal. Like that, I know it's not like they're making a judgment. I don't want you in my life. I'm already living a life that's got me fully focused. Like I don't know what this is that keeps trying to. It's like that's how I feel like. But I never go. It's because me. It's because they have this thing, and that's why I'm targeting them because
Okay.
they have that life, and it's a consuming, cool thing that they're doing.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
And thanks for tuning in to today's video, the second part of my interview with Greg Hawkes. Please go ahead and like this video. Give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, be well.